Hello, beautiful creatives. Welcome back to Beginner's Mind, Art Mind. If you're new, welcome to my channel. So this week's video is about exploring, just exploring and playing with things that maybe you haven't played with for a while, trying out new things, trying some things that maybe you've not really liked in the past but been uncomfortable with, and creating, just creating. So I've done some sketchbook palette cleanup pages. I did some a whole bunch of pages of deli paper palette cleanup, and then I went on to add more layers through stenciling and things that I don't normally do, I don't normally work with. So it's a fun video. There's a lot of exploring, experimentation, a lot of learning, because there was some frustration too where I wasn't quite getting things right. Yeah, so I hope you enjoy the video, and hopefully I will have a video for you next week. If not, it will be the week after, and I will see you on Patreon in between. God bless you guys. I hope you enjoy the video. So I've been sitting here working on the embodiment journaling lessons for my patrons, and videoing some of these painting and intention processes using an embodiment practice. And I'm down to the point where I have so little paint left in this palette. There's just very, very little. So I thought what it would be really fun to do would be, I got paint all over here, to put some paint on some of this deli paper and use it for collage. Yeah, that might be a fun thing to do. So I'm going to find something to put down so I don't get my surface a mess, and then I'm going to play with that. Okay, so I've got a pile of deli paper that I'm going to try not to set on fire with my candle. I've got some gesso and some Liquitex white acrylic out here. And my palette. I think I'm going to start by just scooping out some paint. I've got a lot of red left, so maybe we want to see how... Ooh, now that's interesting. The gouache is not adhering to... I guess I need to mix some gesso in with it to make it stick to the deli paper. I've never done this before as an idea for using up my leftover paint before. I think it's a great idea. I've been inspired by my patrons in my Facebook group, because one of the members has been posting these amazing collages that she's doing, and I thought, ooh, let's make some collage paper. And what I'll probably do is do multiple layers on these, let them dry, and then come back in and do more layers. Let's see what would happen if I squirt the gesso out first and smear that around. Try another red one. There's not that much of this red. I have like 3 different reds in here. Warm red and 2 cooler reds. A little bit of green in here, but it's awful. It's kind of hardened, so I'm not sure. Might be a little too crispy, we'll see. Oh, little too dried out. Okay, I'm gonna need a bit of room to spread these out to dry. Okay, I'm running out of room. Oops, that's still wet. I may have to dry some of these with the hairdryer or put them over on my other table. What else have I got in here? I've got some blues. I've got some turquoise. Let me see what happens if I use my brush. Pick up some of these colors with my brush where there's really just not much left. It's amazing how much easier it is getting this to stick to the deli paper with just a tiny bit of gouache. It doesn't take much, or acrylic paint. It gives it that extra grip. Try some of this blue. That's a pretty piece. All right, I'm gonna dry some of these just so I can stack them and get them out of the way. Okay, so here's the first layer of them. This one was the one with the brush, with all the blues. That's so pretty. And this was the red and the blue, so it's got the purples and pinks. This was the red and the green one. And this was, oh yeah, that's a Holbein color. I think it's called ash green or ash blue. And the red with the white, so it was pink. I like this one a lot. I think that's really pretty. So what I might do, I think I'm gonna use the brush on this one and put more of that red and pink, since I still have a little bit of that left in here. Okay, maybe I will do one more. Got some of this dark blue. Okay, so that is pretty darn empty at this point. It's always such a good feeling to completely use your paints up. There's a little tiny bit that I might just put on a page to do sketches over. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry And is this one dry? This is dry. Oh, almost dry. A little bit of wet on there. And then these two. These are going to be really fun to layer over. I think what I'll do is take my stencils and play around with them. So let me finish drying these for now. Putting this last layer of gesso on here so that I can push it all back a little bit and then maybe do some sketching over it later on, because the gesso is kind of transparent, so it'll help push the color back a little. At least that's my theory. We'll see how it works. That's the great thing about palette cleanup pages, is you're not wasting anything because it's just leftover paint. I was thinking by just doing these little patches like this, it might be fun to do some faces on here. Just some really loose faces. Instead of painting the whole page, just color in part of it. Okay, well, that's pretty much it. There's just a couple of colors left in there. I could go and use that last little bit of green up, I suppose. There's a little bit of green. And here, this is a really dark green. And I'm just remembering as I'm doing this for a palette cleanup page that this is regular gouache, not acrylic gouache. So if I'm gonna wanna do anything over this, I'm probably gonna wanna mix in some gesso to this. So that I can do layers over it. Okay, so that is pretty darn empty. You can see through all the bottoms. There's something so satisfying about not wasting any paint and using it all up, but that one is empty. And I have all of these palette cleanup pages started. This is new for me. I haven't done it this way before. It's going to be fun to see if I like this idea of doing this and then just doing some sort of really wonky, loose, I don't know, faces or images of some kind, birds, owls, I don't know. But I kind of like the idea of just doing like that little spot and then drawing into it. And this will make a nice painting of some sort. I'll do another thing on there of faces or something. Yeah, so I got all those done. And it'll be nice to come to the sketchbook and have these pages started. And I'm almost done with this sketchbook. So these are going to be fun to use as collage papers. Oh, you could even use the back on some of them for more muted colors, but I think these will be fun. I think I'll get out my little stencils. I used these in a Patreon video the other day for the first time. So I think maybe I'll do some stenciling over some of these. All right, so that's it for now. I've got to go wash my brushes and make some dinner. So last night I was sitting in my art nest, and I loved having these backgrounds because I didn't really feel like starting a whole new painting, but because I had this background already painted, I was kind of excited to try doing a drawing on top of it like I had spoken about earlier. So what I used for this one was I used my Create a Color Nero pencil, and I actually love these pencils. I have it in soft, medium, and hard, and I used the soft to get a really dark line because the background's pretty dark on this one. And then I also used some Neocolor 2s. I'm really wanting some Neocolor 1s because there are times when I want to use a non-water soluble crayon, and the Crayola crayons just aren't pigmented enough, the cheap Crayola crayons. So that's something that I put on my Amazon wish list, the Neocolor 1s. And let's see, did I use anything else on this? No, I think it was just the Neocolor 2s and the Create a Color Nero pencil. Really, really fun working with the colored background. Really enjoyed that. And I believe I said this earlier in the video, but the reason that I coated over all of this with a skim coat of gesso was because this is regular gouache. This is the Cenex gouache. So if I did decide I wanted to go back in with wet medium, it would lift. Now, I used white gesso because I wanted to push the colors back to soften them, to lighten them a little bit because they were quite dark. If you really loved the colors the way they were in your palette cleanup pages and they were gouache and you wanted to set them, you could just use clear gesso and it wouldn't affect the colors. So this has been fun, really fun. I enjoyed that a lot. And I'm looking forward to doing more of those. I'm looking forward to doing maybe some faces on these two. And then I'm really looking forward to playing with these collage papers that I made. I may even take one of these today and do some stenciling on it. It's hard to pick which one because I really do like all of them. I think they look so pretty together. When we spread them out, I love the way they look. Yeah, let me see. I think I am going to pick one of these and do a little bit of stenciling on these, and then I'll be able to use them for collage. I got to pick through these stencils. I believe these stencils are in my Amazon favorites shop, which there is a link below the video. I always try to put links below my videos. All you got to do is click the little more button and it opens up links to everything. My Patreon, my Facebook art page, my Instagram, all the things are there. So let me pick a color of stencil and some paint and play with these a little bit. Okay, so I pulled a bunch of stencils off the ring, and I probably pulled more than I'm going to use, but I loved these birch trees. I thought they were pretty cool. Birch trees are aspens. And then I pulled this sort of random pattern. It reminds me of like maybe leopard spots or something. But it also kind of reminds me of rocks. I could see using this in a way that they looked like rocks. A couple of tiny trees, which are pretty cute. And I thought this one might be fun on one of the blue sort of watery ones. Oh no, not that one. Let's see. Well, I've got a bunch of bubbly like looking ones. So I might use some of these. And actually I might mix them up. I might use more than one, since I'm going to probably tear these up to do collage with them. So yeah, this is fun. Okay, so I'm going to get out some paint. Okay, to start on this one, I think I'm going to use a mixture of Titan Buff and white. This is, let's see, the Liquitex acrylic gouache, I believe. Okay, so it's a mixture of the Liquitex acrylic gouache and their soft body acrylics. And it's kind of soft for this. It's not, I don't know, might be a little fluid for this. And it is sort of lifting the paint underneath. Oh yeah, thinking about it, I'm not sure I sealed all these with gesso like I did my pages in my sketchbook. So I might get some neat effects from the paint lifting, which could be kind of cool. Yeah, it's not working so good. I think the paint is too fluid. I might have to try a thicker paint. Let's see. Yeah, it just seeped under, so that didn't work so good. I may actually just take a scraper and scrape that around, because it didn't work. Just add another layer. Okay, so let me think if I have a thicker paint, and I need some baby wipes to wipe this off with. I do have some golden and buff titanium and white, so that might be a little thicker. Be interesting to see if that works better. Could just be that I'm crappy at stenciling because I really don't do it much. And I could just be doing it wrong. That's totally possible. All right, let me see if it works better with the golden than they are right now. So anyways, let's just keep experimenting, because that's kind of what it's all about today. Oh yeah, this is much thicker. So I'm going to put some white here. Wow, very thick. And some Titan Buff. Okay, so I'm going to try this with a heavier paint on this paper, and if it still doesn't work great, I think I'm going to check and see how it works on regular paper, because it may just be that it's not working well on top of the gouache and the deli paper. So let's see what happens this time. Yeah, it doesn't seem to want to stick to this paper. Definitely works better with the thicker paint. Okay, so we'll keep going with that for a little bit. This is just reminding me why I don't like stenciling. You know, I really enjoy working more intuitively, and I feel like I get bogged down with things like this. Okay, yeah, that's what it was. The paint wasn't thick enough before. Cool. Lesson learned. Let's see, by the time this video will post, it will be Friday. So I hope you guys all had a really nice Thanksgiving. And if you're one of the many people for whom holidays are lonely and difficult, then I hope you were able to maybe do some creating around that to sort of help release some of those emotions. And ooh, okay, that's that's cool. All right. Probably don't want to go over this lighter area, but I think I will do this area. I think maybe I'll move on and try one of these trees. Now, I think I will stick with the lighter color because of the dark red in the background. Okay, let's see if we continue to have luck. These are really stiff brushes. These are the Richson. It came as a set. Oops, I lifted that up. Again, on Amazon. It should be in my Amazon favorites list. If not, I'll try to put a link below. I'm kind of messing this one up because I'm getting impatient with these fussy little tree branch stencils. So this one may not come out the best. Not too bad. That's where I accidentally lifted it. But not too bad. Oh, I actually really like it. So do I want to do another one? I might have some on the back of this though. Do I want to kind of overlap them? Maybe. I don't know. I'm going to try it though. Okay, I'm definitely finding that by pressing down and wiggling the brush a little bit, I seem to be getting better results. I'm sure those of you that are like really good stencilers will be able to give me all kinds of tips in the comments. Seems like when I go too far in a round motion, it pushes it underneath. But if I press and just sort of wiggle a little bit. Oh, cool. Wow, that's cool. I love how a little bit of it pulled off and a little bit of the background color is mixing in. That is fun. Okay, I'm gonna go soak these two stencils because I hate cleaning dried paint off them. Oh, I really like the trees. I think those are fun. I think in this area, I'm gonna do some of these sort of pebbly shapes. This is pretty dry. And so I think to do that, I'm gonna take a couple of different grays and some raw umber and put it out on my palette and see what comes of that. This is the Paul Rubens, so this may be a little fluid for what I'm trying to do, but I can always mix it with the golden. And this is golden neutral tint, or I'm sorry, neutral gray, N6. This is N3 neutral gray from golden. Ugh. Wow. I just ran downstairs a minute ago because I noticed that I had the Life Breath on, the ventilation system on in the studio, and it makes a high-pitched whistle. And unfortunately, for the whole beginning of the video, I had that on. So sorry if there was a high-pitched whistle in the background. Yeah, I think this motion is more better. Just sort of putting it down and wiggling it definitely works better than the tapping, at least in this situation. I'm not sure they're showing up that great. Try the darker gray, more of the darker gray. Not having that great of an effect with this. I'm gonna try some pure, or add some more white on here and see what happens. See if the white ones show up better. It's also raining out. We got a snowstorm last night and it turned to rain this morning, so it's raining out, and when the rain hits the metal roof in the studio, it can get picked up really loud by the camera. So I hope the noises in the background aren't too loud. Okay, that's not that fabulous. Just didn't show up that great on the background. Okay, I think it needed either a lighter background for the darks or a darker background for the lights, but I'll still find a use for it. I'm just trying to see what some of them look like. Yeah, I'll figure something out to use it for. All right, so that is that sheet. All right, one more time. I'm going to try it with some yellow ochre this time. Still trying to get that rock vibe going. Uh-oh, how did I have this? There we go. Okay. I don't know why I'm trying so hard to get this to look like rocks, because if you think about it, I'm probably going to only use these in abstract collage. And see, that may be my linear thinking mind. Definitely is my linear thinking mind trying to take over and make this something instead of just letting go and letting it be abstract. But sometimes too, you're not feeling it, you know? You want to just kind of keep going until you're feeling it, feeling something for it. So you gotta kind of pay attention to all those things. Now it's starting to lift some of the bottom layers because the paper's so wet, and that's kind of cool. I'm kind of liking that. All right, what do we got? I definitely think it looks more like rocks. Okay, I'm gonna leave it. I definitely like it better with the variations of color. Okay, what is next? I need to stop being so fussy, or this is going to take forever. Since I seem to be grabbing these Paul Rubens paints so much, I'll grab another one. This is phthalo green. And do I want to add some white to it? Let's just see what it looks like pure first. That's fun. I like how subtle it is in areas too, because that will work really nicely with some abstracts. So that is cool. Okay, so my battery's gonna wear out pretty soon, but I have these light colored, pastel colored golden paints, and I think it would be fun to use some of these. So I'm not even trying to keep my colors pure at this point because I kind of like the way they're mixing. Oh, cool. That's fun. Okay, let me try another one of these pastel colors. Should I do some of these smaller shapes? Yeah, I think I will. Oh, that's cool though. I like that. That's fun. Let me try to put some of this stuff down here to the smaller stuff. Cool. All right. That is actually something that came through accidentally. Okay, so that's my blue sheet. Fun, fun, fun. This video is going to end up being too long though if I do every one of these papers. So what I may do is just go ahead and do a bunch of these and then show them to you at the end, because this could take a while. But there's the first two. And then I think I'll do some Titan Violet Pale and maybe that blue that I just used. And maybe I'll use this stencil again. Okay, so that is the ones that I did a pattern on. And I actually only left one whole one without a pattern, but that's okay. And it's going to be fun incorporating these into... I love these trees. Those are fun. Love these bubbles on the blue one. This one, I'm glad I didn't cover any more than this because I really like some of these marks. I think, yeah, this is really dynamic as it is. I love that one. I think this is going to be really fun to work with. Love the way the trees came out on the red and the green. And this one, I'm glad I left because I like the colors. I think that's going to be fun to work with. And I'm glad I left half of this one. So this will be fun to work with. You could use these, rip these into smaller sections, or yeah, there's a lot of different ways you could use these. So anyways, that was fun. That was really fun experimenting with these different stencils and using up all that paint on my palette. Yeah, I think this was a really great way to not waste paint and to have fun experimenting around with something completely different. I haven't painted on deli paper in quite a while. So I think I actually do have another video on YouTube where I did palette papers. So if I can find it, I'll put a link on the screen. Something I've noticed about links is that if you watch my videos on a TV, at least on my TV, those links don't show up. They only the in-video links only show up on like your phone or your computer. So I'll try to put, when I say that I'm putting links on the screen, I sometimes try to remember to put it also below the video. So if you see me pointing and saying I'm putting links, it's not that I didn't put it there. It's just that it doesn't show up on TVs, like at least my TV. So there they are. Fun, fun, fun. I love the sound of them. I love the crinkliness of the deli paper. Okay. I hope, oh, and then there's the palette cleanup pages where I did the drawing over, and I've got a bunch more of those and a few more pages, and now I have these paints that I could use up, although there's not much here. So there is a little bit, let's see, a little bit of that blue on here, which is a pretty color. So maybe I will put some of that on. My camera's probably going to die any minute, so... Yeah, there really wasn't much there, was there? Ooh, it'd be nice to have some lighter shapes, though, to do those faces on. Because the ones that I had were kind of dark. So this is good. This will be fun. You know, when you're exploring like this, as long as you're willing to really let go and not get frustrated because you don't know where things are going or they're not coming out the way you want them to, it's really energizing. I've had extreme fatigue for quite a while now, and I do find doing experimenting around like this energizing for me. Yeah, these are mostly used up. Okay, and I'm not sure if I want to use the gray on one. I'll have to see. Okay, lovelies, I think I'm going to leave it there. And I wish all of you that celebrate a happy Thanksgiving. And yeah, have fun experimenting. Play around, let go of results. And it's so energizing and just feels really good to just let go. I'm looking forward to doing more of these drawings on my palette clean, on a new kind of palette cleanup page for me. I think it's going to be really fun to do that, just these little blobs of color and then sketch. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up and comment and subscribe and all those things. I have been missing a lot of weeks lately because of health, so I'm being punished by the algorithm, the big old bully algorithm. So anyways, I appreciate your likes and subscribes. Okay, guys, I will see you in the next video. Take care. God bless and have a great Thanksgiving. And if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, have a great week. Hopefully I will talk to you next week, if not the week after. Bye-bye.